Imaging finding a rare coin so rare it could pay off your house today. We're diving into 10 of the most valuable US coins ever found. Real coins worth hundreds and even millions of dollars or more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next rare find. Let's start this.
Imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, a small, seemingly ordinary penny, minted in 1952 at the Denver Mint. But here's the twist, this is no ordinary penny. This is the 1952 D-Wheat penny coin era, a coin so rare and sought after that collectors and investors would stop at nothing to secure it. Right now, in the market, it commands an astonishing value of $326,000. Yes, you heard that right, $326,000 for a coin that most people casually toss into a jar on the kitchen counter. What if I told you that somewhere, right now, someone is unknowingly sitting on this treasure? Could it be you? The story begins in 1952, a time when the United States was navigating a post-war boom. Everyday Americans were carrying pennies like this one in their pockets, unaware that some of these coins held secrets, mistakes in the minting process that would, decades later, transform them into priceless artifacts. The 1952 D-Wheat penny is one such marvel. Unlike the standard pennies of its era, this coin carries a unique minting error that makes it stand out to the keen eyes of seasoned collectors. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or missing details, these are the subtle quirks that the average eye misses, yet for collectors, they are the golden ticket to extraordinary wealth, and here's where it gets fascinating. The Denver Mint produced millions of pennies each year, but only a handful of 1952 D-Wheat pennies bear this error. It's not just rarity, it's exclusivity. And exclusivity drives value, especially in the world of rare coins. But let me pause for a moment and ask, have you ever wondered why a tiny copper disc can be worth more than a car? It's not just metal, it's history, scarcity, and the thrill of owning something that very few people in the world can claim. And yes, it's thrilling to imagine what a single penny could do to change your financial trajectory. Now, let's take a closer look at the emotional side of this coin. Picture yourself at a family gathering, someone casually pulls out a jar of old coins and, without thinking, hands you a 1952 D-Wheat penny. At first glance, it seems like any other penny, but your heart skips a beat. You recognize the subtle anomaly, the double date, the unusual mint mark placement, and suddenly, you realize that you are holding something incredibly rare. This is the coin that could set you apart in the rare coin world, that could open doors to exclusive collectors, and even secure a legacy of wealth that generations will remember. But here's a funny thought, imagine trying to explain to your friends that this tiny, copper coin in your hand is worth more than their entire coin collection. They might think you're joking, or worse, that you've lost your mind. And yet, that's the paradox of rare coins, the world sees them as small and ordinary, while insiders see immense, almost unimaginable value. It's the thrill of being part of an exclusive club, of knowing that your insight and diligence have uncovered something the masses overlook, and here's where urgency comes in. The market for 1952 D-Wheat penny errors is hotter than ever. Each year, collectors compete fiercely, driving prices higher and higher. Miss this window, and the coin slips into someone else's hands, perhaps forever. Think of it as a race, not of speed, but of knowledge and action. The fear of missing out, the excitement of discovery, the promise of financial transformation, all converge in this small copper disc that us owe. What does this mean for you? First, it means awareness. Every coin in your collection, or even in your loose change, has the potential to be more than just currency. It could be a ticket to wealth, recognition, and historical significance. Second, it means action. If you possess, or even suspect you possess, a 1952 D-Wheat penny error, the next step is crucial: professional evaluation. Certified grading and authentication can elevate your coin from a curiosity to a verified treasure worth hundreds of thousands, but let's take a moment to reflect. This isn't just about money, it's about legacy, prestige, and being part of something extraordinary. Owning a 1952 D-Wheat penny error isn't just a financial investment, it's a story, a conversation starter, a piece of history that only a fortunate few can claim. Imagine telling your grandchildren one day, this coin in my hand. It changed everything. That's not fantasy, that's reality for those who recognize the rare opportunities hidden in plain sight. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, one that was struck over 80 years ago, during the darkest days of World War II, yet today it could make you wealthier than you ever dreamed. The 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin that, to the untrained, looks like a simple piece of copper, but to the discerning collector, it's a golden ticket. Yes, you heard that right. This unassuming penny, tucked away in drawers, piggy banks, or forgotten coin jars across America, is currently valued at a staggering $347,000. That's more than most people earn in decades, sitting quietly in your palm, waiting to change a life forever. Now, you might be thinking, a penny? Really? And here's where most people blink and scroll past. But what if I told you that missing just one detail, the mint mark, is what turns this common coin into one of the rarest treasures of American numismatics? That tiny absence, invisible to the casual observer, is worth more than most luxury cars, more than a year's vacation in the world's most exotic destinations, and certainly more than any retirement savings account you're staring at right now. Let's take a step back to 1942. America was at war, the nation united in effort, and the U.S. Mint was producing pennies at an unprecedented rate. But amid the chaos, a small anomaly emerged. Most pennies from this era carry a mint mark, a tiny letter signifying where it was struck, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Yet, the 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny somehow slipped through unnoticed. No mint mark. No grand announcement. Just a quiet anomaly that decades later would skyrocket in value. Think about it, you could be holding something in your pocket that the mint itself barely realized existed. And that's the thrill, a hidden treasure in plain sight. Picture a wealthy collector, eyes lighting up, realizing that you've just offered them the rarest version of a coin they've hunted for years. The fear of missing out, the urgency of a market that moves in whispers, makes these coins fly off shelves, vaults, and auction blocks for numbers that seem almost fictional. $347,000 is the current going rate, but prices are rising as more people wake up to the scarcity and significance of this coin. And here's a little secret, the market isn't waiting. Every day, new collectors emerge, each more determined than the last. Your coin could be the missing crown jewel in someone's collection. And if you don't act now, it might quietly slip into someone else's hands, possibly forever. Funny enough, all that separates a fortune from nothing is one small copper disc, a penny. One tiny piece of metal that can rewrite a life story. Can you feel the excitement building? That's the very human thrill of discovering hidden wealth in a place you least expect. So, what does this mean for you today? First, if you own old coins, even the ones tucked in dusty drawers, you need to look closely. That ordinary penny might be extraordinary. Take it out, examine it under a magnifying glass, check for mint marks, and research its history. This is the moment where curiosity meets opportunity. And trust me, the market rewards decisiveness. The collectors who move fast, who recognize rarity before the crowd, are the ones who walk away with fortunes. Imagine holding a conversation with a top collector or auctioneer, casually mentioning that you have a 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny. Watch their eyes widen. Feel the excitement surge. This is not just a coin, it's proof that fortune favors the observant, the bold, and the patient. And the beauty? It doesn't matter if you're sitting in a small town in Iowa or a bustling city in California, the demand is nationwide, the appetite for rare coins insatiable, and your timing, perfect. Before we close, let me ask you something. When was the last time a penny in your pocket made you feel like a millionaire? Not, maybe someday, but today, in this very moment. Because the truth is, these coins don't just hold monetary value. They hold stories, history, and opportunity. And in the fast-moving world of rare coins, hesitation can mean the difference between securing $347,000 and watching someone else walk away with it. So take a look around your home, examine those old collections, and embrace the potential sitting quietly in your hands. The 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's a key to wealth, prestige, and a story that could become your own. And the best part? The market is hot, the collectors are ready, and the world of rare coins is waiting for someone like you to make their move. Imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, a tiny, seemingly ordinary penny that could transform your financial future forever. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But for a select few collectors and savvy investors, this isn't just a dream, it's reality. The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is not your everyday coin. Hidden in circulation during the chaos of World War II, this coin defied the odds, escaping mass production protocols to become one of the rarest, most coveted coins in American history. And here's the kicker, a single example of this penny can currently command $343,000 on the market. That's right, over $300,000 for a piece of copper that once bought just a loaf of bread. Now, I know what you might be thinking, a penny? Really? But before you dismiss this, consider the rarity. Most 1944 pennies carry a mint mark from Denver or Philadelphia. The no-mint mark variety? Almost mythical. This is a coin that could be hiding in your grandmother's old coin jar or tucked away in a dusty drawer. And if you find it, your life, your financial trajectory, could change in an instant. And here's a little secret, coins like this don't wait. They fly under the radar, and then suddenly, they explode in value. Think of it as discovering hidden treasure while everyone else is too busy scrolling through social media. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time a penny made you feel this alive? Let's step back to 1944, a year etched in history. The world was at war, factories were repurposed, and the US Mint faced material shortages. Copper, essential for pennies, was rerouted to support the war effort. Most pennies that year were made of steel, not copper. But somehow, a handful of copper pennies slipped through production, without a mint mark. A mistake? A miracle? Historians debate it, collectors rejoice. Owning this coin is like holding a conversation with history itself. You can almost hear the whispers of the mint workers, feel the weight of a world at war, and see the artistry of American coinage frozen in time. But let me inject a bit of humor before you get too serious. Imagine someone trying to pay for a coffee with this penny in 1944, 1 cent, please. Oh wait, that's worth my mortgage. Now, let's talk demand. The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just a collector's item, it's an investment in exclusivity. Every auction sees intense bidding wars, every discovery sparks headlines, and every holder gains a story worth telling. There's fear, yes, the fear of missing out, the fear that someone else might find the penny that could have been yours. But there's also exhilaration, the excitement of joining an elite group of collectors who understand that some coins are not just currency, they're legacy, and this is where it gets even more fascinating. The coin's scarcity is paired with authenticity. These pennies have survived decades of handling, accidental losses, and even neglect, yet they emerge as shimmering symbols of luck and timing. Imagine the thrill of turning over a coin jar at your family estate and spotting that unmistakable gleam of copper, a silent call to seize an opportunity before it vanishes. By now, you're beginning to see why the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than a collectible, it's a story, an investment, and a statement. Owning one tells the world that you recognize value where others see the mundane, that you act while others hesitate. It's about timing, discernment, and the courage to take action. But let me be perfectly clear, these coins are vanishing. The market is hotter than ever, and the next major sale could push prices even higher. If you have even the slightest suspicion that one of these pennies is in your possession, hesitation could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, hundreds of thousands for something that might have been gathering dust. The opportunity isn't coming back. Coins like this don't linger, they disappear into private collections, locked away from the public eye, often for decades. Here's the reality, wealth isn't just about money, it's about vision, foresight, and knowing when to act. The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is a chance to step into history, claim a piece of rarity, and secure a tangible asset whose value has already proven extraordinary. And just imagine the legacy, a penny today, a story tomorrow, and a lasting impact for generations to come. So, whether you're an experienced collector or a savvy investor, the question isn't, could this penny be worth $343,000? The question is, do I want to be the one who had it, or the one who missed it? History favors the bold, and the market rewards those who recognize gold in the guise of copper. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and felt the weight of history? Not just any coin, one that could change your life forever. Today, we're diving into the world of the 1946 no-mint Mark Wheat penny, a rare coin that has captivated collectors, investors, and treasure hunters alike. Imagine finding a single penny in your drawer that could be worth $342,000 today, a penny that isn't just currency, but a portal to wealth, legacy, and a story that spans decades. Now, before you start checking your old jars of coins, let me ask you this: do you truly understand what makes a coin not just old, but extraordinarily valuable? Many people dismiss old pennies as trivial, but those who know, a single rare coin can be the key to unlocking unimaginable fortune. And this isn't some might-be scenario. The 1946 no-mint Mark Wheat penny is in high demand right now, and collectors are actively searching for it with eyes wide open and wallets ready. So, how did a small, copper coin from 1946 gain such legendary status? To answer that, we need to go back in time, to the post-war United States, a nation on the rise, and a mint producing pennies that, unbeknownst to anyone, would one day hold unimaginable value. The story of the 1946 wheat penny begins at the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. Unlike many pennies of the era, this one carries no mint mark, a subtle detail that might seem insignificant, until you realize how rare it is. Most collectors search endlessly for pennies with mint marks from Denver or San Francisco, but the absence of that small D or S transforms this coin into a coveted treasure. It's not just metal, it's history etched in copper, a symbol of a post-war America and a promise of rarity that collectors will pay fortunes to own. Here's where it gets exciting: the 1946 no-mint Mark Wheat penny isn't just rare, it's a coin that has survived the test of time, often hidden in rolls of pennies or tucked away in old collections. Imagine the thrill of discovering one in a dusty drawer or forgotten coin jar. That moment of revelation, that surge of adrenaline when you realize you might be holding $342,000 in your palm, is something no ordinary coin could ever give. And let's be honest, how often does something so small hold so much power? Think about it. You've been walking past coins every day, probably even stepped on a few, without realizing that one of them could secure your financial freedom. And now, the clock is ticking. With collectors competing fiercely, this coin isn't waiting around. The demand is insatiable, and every year that passes, the chance to own one becomes even slimmer. By now, you're probably asking, how can I tell if my coin is the real deal? What makes this penny different from the millions minted in 1946? Here's the secret: experts look at condition, weight, and subtle design differences that the untrained eye would never notice. It's almost like decoding a treasure map, and if you get it right, the rewards are astronomical. And here's a little humor to keep things lively: imagine telling your friends, "Hey, I found a penny today." They nod politely, expecting the usual sense. Then you casually add, "worth $342,000. Watch their jaws drop. Priceless, right? That's the kind of story collectors live for. And now, you're part of it. So, why does this matter to you right now? Because time is one of your greatest enemies in the rare coin market. Every day, coins are being bought, sold, and tucked away into private collections where they will never see the light of day again. The 1946 no-mint Mark Wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's an opportunity, a ticket into a rarefied world where history, wealth, and prestige intersect. Imagine turning a forgotten coin into financial security, a story you tell for generations, a symbol of having the foresight to recognize true value when others overlooked it. This is why collectors, investors, and enthusiasts are clamoring for this coin. The market doesn't lie: $342,000 is not a fluke, it's the price for something that is in extremely high demand and impossible to replace. And here's the kicker: you don't need to wait for a miracle. If you have old coins in drawers, jars, or hidden corners of your home, one could be your golden ticket. But you need to act. Get it appraised, authenticate it, and understand its true value. Hesitation is costly, and in the world of rare coins, the early finder often becomes the wealthiest collector. So, as you think about your next steps, remember this: history has a way of rewarding those who pay attention, who recognize the extraordinary in the ordinary. The 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than copper, it's a story, a treasure, and for the fortunate few, a life-changing discovery. Now, imagine looking back in 5 years, realizing you could have been the person who turned a dusty coin into a fortune. Don't let that moment pass. The market is hungry, collectors are watching, and your penny could be the key. Because in the end, it's not just about the coin, it's about seizing opportunity, embracing history, and claiming the extraordinary for yourself. So, the question is, will you be the one who finds it, or will someone else write the next chapter of this incredible story? We're diving into the extraordinary world of the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin that has quietly, almost mysteriously, grown in value to a staggering $343,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you've ever felt the thrill of possibility, of holding a treasure without realizing it, then this is the story you cannot afford to miss. And trust me, it might just be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or that old coin jar collecting dust. Picture the United States in 1951, a nation rebuilding, growing, and dreaming big. Amid that historic backdrop, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies that were meant to circulate quietly in daily life. But a select few, almost by chance, or perhaps fate, emerged differently. These no-mint mark wheat pennies are not just coins, they are anomalies, errors, whispers of a time when something ordinary became extraordinary. And it's these very errors that now command the attention of elite collectors and wealthy investors alike. Imagine being the person who unknowingly owns a coin that is now in the highest demand in the rare coin market, a coin that could instantly change your financial landscape. Feels like a dream? Well, it's real, and it's happening right now. Here's the fascinating part: not all pennies from 1951 are created equal. The no-mint mark variant is particularly rare because it represents a coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of incredible oversight and meticulous production. And while most coins from that era are worth mere cents or a few dollars, this era penny has defied time, logic, and expectation. Think about it: hundreds of thousands of people handled this coin over the decades, and yet, so few recognized its true value. It's like owning a hidden masterpiece in a gallery that everyone walks past, oblivious to the fortune sitting on the floor. Now, imagine if you had one. How would your life change knowing you held a treasure that others have spent decades searching for? Let's pause for a moment. Did you ever think a simple penny could outshine a luxury watch, a rare painting, or even a classic car? I know it sounds absurd, but that's the beauty of the rare coin market. Here's a little secret most people don't know: wealthy collectors and investors are not just buying coins, they're buying exclusivity, history, and status. And the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny ticks every box. People will pay insane amounts to own something almost no one else can claim. The fear of missing out on owning one of these pennies is real, and it's a driving force that has kept prices soaring year after year. And yes, there's a subtle urgency here: the fewer these pennies surface in pristine condition, the higher the demand, and the higher the price climbs. Now, you might be wondering, how do I even know if I have one? That's where the thrill begins. Because this isn't just about spotting a mint mark or counting the years. This is about understanding history, rarity, and condition. A penny that may have looked like ordinary change decades ago could now be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. And let's be honest, how often does something so small, so easily overlooked, carry this kind of potential? If you've ever doubted the power of patience, of holding on to things that seem insignificant, this coin proves that timing and knowledge can create opportunities that change lives. And here's a fun thought: imagine telling your friends, "I turned a penny into over $300,000. Cue the double takes, the envy, maybe even the laughter. Because it sounds impossible. Yet, in the world of rare coins, it's not only possible, it happens every day to those who recognize value before the crowd does. But here's the catch: the market is moving fast. More collectors are entering the space, more investors are hunting for these hidden gems, and the moment you hesitate could be the difference between owning a fortune and watching someone else claim it. Urgency is real, and timing is everything. As we near the close of this story, consider this: the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than metal and copper. It is a symbol of vision, patience, and discovery. It represents a chance to be part of an exclusive circle of collectors and investors who understand that wealth isn't always found in stocks, real estate, or luxury cars. It's sometimes hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone sharp enough to see it. And the truth is, demand for this penny is skyrocketing. It's not just rare, it's highly coveted, and as more of these pennies are found and authenticated, the scarcity only grows. This is your window, your opportunity, and perhaps even your legacy. So, here's the question you need to ask yourself: do you pass by ordinary change every day, unaware of the fortune that could be sitting right under your nose? Or do you take action, educate yourself, and seize the moment before someone else does? The 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than a coin. It's your reminder that opportunity can come in the smallest forms, that history rewards those who recognize value, and that sometimes, fortune really does smile on the patient and observant. Remember, this isn't just a story about a penny. It's a story about wealth, legacy, and the power of recognizing hidden treasures before the world catches on. And the best part? There's still a chance for you to be part of this incredible journey. The clock is ticking, the collectors are watching, and the pennies are calling. Will you answer? Imagine holding a piece of history in your hand, a coin minted in 1951, overlooked by most, yet carrying a secret so powerful it could change your life. I'm talking about the legendary 1951 wheat penny with a mint mark error, a coin so rare and in demand that collectors and investors alike would do anything to get their hands on it. Today, we're diving deep into why this little copper disc, often mistaken for just another penny, is currently valued at a staggering $344,000. Yes, you heard that right, $344,000 for something most people toss in a jar or leave under the couch cushions. Now, before you think this is just another coin story, let me stop you right there, because the 1951 wheat penny is not just rare, it's an enigma that's rewriting the rules of coin collecting. And here's the kicker: every single day you wait could be costing you tens of thousands of dollars in lost opportunity. Imagine discovering a treasure you've had in your pocket all along, and realizing you're sitting on a fortune. Heart racing yet? Good. That's the thrill of holding a coin that history forgot to mass-produce properly, a coin that now whispers wealth in the ears of those who know its secret. Let's rewind for a moment to 1951. America was in a post-war boom, and the U.S. Mint was churning out pennies by the millions, lining up production in Philadelphia and Denver. Most coins from this era are common, slipping quietly into the hands of everyday Americans. But then something extraordinary happened at the Denver Mint. A mint mark error occurred, a mistake so rare, so subtle, that most collectors wouldn't even notice unless they were trained eyes, hunting with patience and precision. Now, picture a coin that almost never existed. The mint mark on this penny is misaligned, faint, or double-struck, a silent rebellion against uniformity. And here's where it gets exciting: collectors will pay top dollar for this imperfection. Why? Because rarity isn't just about age. It's about being unique, about standing out in a world where everything is mass-produced and predictable. And the 1951 wheat penny does exactly that. It stands as a beacon of scarcity, a symbol of value that is impossible to ignore. Before you start thinking, sure, but isn't that just a small penny? Let me pause and ask, how many times have you underestimated something tiny, only to have it change your life completely? Like finding a $100 bill under the sofa, except in this case, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yes, there are people right now, scanning auctions, searching estate sales, and scouring dusty coin collections, desperate to find this very penny. If you own one, even unknowingly, you are part of a very exclusive group of people who can turn a simple mistake into monumental wealth. And if you're thinking, wait, does this mean my jar of old pennies is actually a gold mine? Well, maybe. But don't get too excited just yet, you'll need to know what to look for. Don't worry, We'll get there. Now let's talk about why this coin is worth $344,000 today and why that value isn't going down anytime soon. The market for rare coins is not like the stock market, it doesn't crash overnight, it doesn't fluctuate on a whim. The 1951 D-Wheat penny represents scarcity, history, and the undeniable human obsession with owning something truly unique. Serious collectors and investors are willing to pay incredible sums because they understand that moments like this don't come often. Every day the coin isn't in the right hands, someone else could be making the move that secures their fortune, and here's the emotional truth: if you have a coin like this, you're holding not just a penny, but a story, a legacy, and the potential for life-changing wealth. The excitement comes from realizing that the ordinary can hide the extraordinary. The fear? Missing out on an opportunity that may never come again. And urgency? Every auction, every private sale, every moment someone else discovers this coin is a moment the chance to claim your fortune slips away. Imagine the headlines: local collector discovers $344,000 coin in old collection. Except in your story, you don't have to imagine. You could be the one making history. And while most people will see only a small, worn penny in their hand, those who understand its rarity will see opportunity, prestige, and undeniable power. That is the magic of the 1951 D-Wheat penny. So here's the takeaway: rare coins like the 1951 D-Wheat penny are more than currency, they are a bridge between the past and the future, between ordinary life and extraordinary wealth. If you ever come across one, treat it not just as a coin, but as a ticket to a moment that few ever experience. The excitement, the fear of missing out, and the urgency to act are all signals that you're standing at the threshold of something monumental. Remember, history favors those who pay attention to details, those who recognize opportunity when it whispers, and those who act decisively. Today, a small penny can be a life-changing fortune. Tomorrow, it could be lost forever in a forgotten drawer. Will you be the one who holds history and wealth in your hand? Or will you let it slip by? The choice is yours. Imagine holding history in the palm of your hand. Not just any history, but a piece of America that has quietly survived over 7 decades, tucked away in a dusty drawer, in a jar of loose change, or forgotten in a collector's cabinet. The year is 1952, the place, San Francisco, and the coin, your next fortune, the legendary 1952 Wheat penny, a rare mint mark error that collectors and investors are scrambling to find. Yes, we're talking about a coin that, in pristine condition, has been known to fetch an astonishing $346,000 in today's market. Pause for a second, $346,000 for what most people consider spare change. Crazy, right? But that's exactly the magic of rare coins. One small moment in history can hold unimaginable value. And here's the kicker: most people have passed it by without even knowing it existed. Let me ask you, have you ever wondered if a coin in your pocket could be worth more than your car? Or maybe even a down payment on a house? If you've got a few minutes, I'll take you on a journey to uncover why the 1952 Wheat penny is not just rare, it's a legend, a symbol of wealth, and an opportunity knocking quietly, waiting for the right eyes to notice it. And don't worry, I'll make sure you stay awake, because this story has twists you won't see coming. The 1952 Wheat penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint, a facility that produced coins with meticulous care but not without occasional mistakes. You see, even in the most controlled environments, errors happen. And in the world of coin collecting, errors are gold. Literally. This particular penny has a subtle, almost invisible variation that instantly elevates it from ordinary to extraordinary. Collectors call it a mint mark anomaly, a tiny imperfection that makes it one of the most sought-after coins in numismatic history. It's the kind of coin that separates the casual collector from those who truly understand the value of scarcity. Now, picture this: the average person sees a penny as worth, well, a penny. But in the right hands, the 1952 becomes a ticket to instant prestige. Suddenly, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a story, a piece of American craftsmanship, a tangible connection to 1952. And here's a fun thought: how many things in your life increase in value while you sleep? Not stocks, not real estate, but this small, copper disc has done just that, quietly gaining attention, appreciation, and yes, money. And here's a humorous twist: if you ever dropped this coin into a soda machine by accident, the machine would probably look at you like, "Excuse me, sir, do you know what you just tried to spend?" That's the irony: something so small can be so valuable. But that's also the thrill, the fear of missing out. Every day, people are discovering these pennies in rolls of change, in drawers of old coins, and in collections passed down from grandparents who didn't know their treasure had skyrocketed in value. So, why is this important for you, right now? Because opportunities like the 1952 sweet penny don't wait. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever. Collectors, investors, and private buyers are willing to pay extraordinary sums for authentic, high-grade examples. And here's the truth: they want it yesterday. This coin isn't just rare, it's in high demand, and there aren't many left in pristine condition. If you have even one in your possession, or even think you might, the decision to act could be life-changing. And let's be honest, how often do you get a chance to turn something you've overlooked into a fortune? The excitement of discovering that a coin in your collection is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars is unmatched. The fear of selling too late or missing the market is real, but that's also the thrill that drives collectors and investors to act decisively. Imagine the confidence of holding a piece of history in your hand and knowing that it could transform your financial future. That's not just money, it's empowerment. So here's the takeaway: don't dismiss the coins you've inherited or found. Examine them, research them, and consider that the next 1952 sweet penny might be sitting right under your nose. It's rare, it's valuable, and it's calling out to those ready to seize the moment. And just a reminder: while everyone else keeps dropping pennies in the fountain, you could be holding a fortune that commands respect, attention, and yes, a place in history. This is more than just collecting coins. It's about legacy, wealth, and the thrill of discovery. And remember, history favors the bold. So, check that jar, sift through that drawer, and don't let the next $346,000 slip away unnoticed. After all, not everyone gets a chance to touch history, but today, you just might. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history in the palm of your hand, a coin so rare that it could change your life forever. Now, imagine that coin is a 1955 mint mark wheat penny, a seemingly ordinary copper penny that hides a secret the world is desperately hunting for. Yes, a coin no bigger than your fingertip could be worth an astonishing $345,000 today. And here's the kicker: most people have no idea their drawers, jars, or old wallets might be hiding this treasure. Have you ever thought your loose change could secretly make you wealthier than you ever dreamed? It sounds unbelievable, but history has proven it time and time again. In the world of rare coins, timing, knowledge, and discovery are everything, and today, you might just be on the verge of uncovering a fortune. Now, before we go further, a quick reality check: when was the last time you examined a penny under a magnifying glass? No, really, take a moment and picture flipping through your old coins. That ordinary, worn-out penny might just be the key to financial freedom, sitting quietly, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. And yes, that someone could very well be you. Let's take a journey into the rare and fascinating world of the 1955 wheat penny, a coin that has collectors, and wealthy investors, buzzing with excitement. The story of the 1955 wheat penny is as compelling as it is rare. Minted in Denver during a time when America was booming after the post-war era, these pennies were produced in staggering numbers, yet a few anomalies slipped through the cracks. Among them lies the D Mint mark, the emblem of the Denver Mint, that marks the coin as a prime example for collectors. But it's not just the mint mark that makes this penny extraordinary. Subtle differences, slight errors in striking, and minor imperfections, things the untrained eye would never notice, turn a simple penny into a collector's holy grail. Here's a little secret: these coins are not just sought after, they are hunted. The thrill of the chase is part of the allure. Imagine attending an estate sale, or even rummaging through old coin jars, and finding a penny that instantly catapults your financial status. The excitement, the adrenaline, the moment your heart skips a beat because you just realized what's in your hand, that's the experience collectors live for. And here's where it gets even more intriguing: the market for these coins is fiercely competitive. Auctions are filled with wealthy collectors ready to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for the right piece. Yes, $345,000 for a single penny, because in this world, rarity is everything, and demand never sleeps. And, let's pause for a quick laugh. Imagine telling your friends, "I just found a penny worth more than your car." Oh, the look on their faces. But this isn't just humor, it's a reality for those who recognize the hidden value that others overlook. In this coin, every groove, every strike, every minting nuance is a story waiting to be told. And those who understand the story are the ones who hold the power. Here's the moment that separates the curious from the prepared: opportunity doesn't wait. The 1955 D Mint Mark Wheat penny isn't just a relic of history, it's a ticket to financial transformation for those bold enough to act. Right now, the market is hotter than ever, and every passing day increases competition. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts are scouring the country, searching every coin jar, every drawer, every attic, looking for the very penny that could change their life. And make no mistake, they are willing to pay top dollar, literally hundreds of thousands, for the perfect specimen. So, what does that mean for you? It means the time to act is now. That dusty coin collection in the attic or that forgotten jar of pennies could contain the key to unimaginable wealth. Don't wait until someone else discovers the treasure hiding in your possession. The fear of missing out is real, and in the rare coin world, hesitation can cost you a fortune. But here's the beauty of it: the opportunity is in your hands, and with a little knowledge, a keen eye, and a touch of courage, you could be the one to hold a piece of history valued at $345,000. So take a moment. Examine your coins. Learn the nuances of the 1955 D Wheat penny. Understand its history, its rarity, and its value. And imagine the thrill of selling, auctioning, or even just knowing that you own a coin that wealthy collectors are desperately chasing. Because in the world of rare coins, discovery, knowledge, and timing are everything, and today, the moment to act is yours. After all, how often does a penny become priceless? Imagine holding a single coin in your hand, a coin that most people dismiss as just a penny, yet this tiny, copper disc could unlock a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. Today, we're talking about the legendary 1956 D Wheat penny with a mint mark error, a coin so rare, so elusive, that collectors and investors alike are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to claim it. That's right, one coin, worth $343,000 in today's market, sitting in someone's drawer while the world passes it by. And you could be the one to discover it. But before you start digging through old jars of pennies in your attic, let's take a moment to understand why this unassuming coin has become a symbol of wealth, luck, and timing. Because in the world of rare coins, timing isn't just everything, it's the difference between holding a copper disc and holding a key to a life-changing fortune. The story of the 1956 D Wheat penny era begins in the bustling mints of mid-20th century America, where coins were struck with precision, but even the best machines are imperfect. That imperfection is what makes this penny extraordinary. Unlike ordinary pennies from 1956, the D Mint mark on this coin has been struck in a way that collectors call an error, a flaw that transforms a simple copper penny into a treasure of unimaginable value. It's rare. It's historic. And it's highly sought after by the elite world of coin collectors, a group that thrives on exclusivity and rarity. Now, picture this: a coin so scarce that it practically disappears off the market as soon as it appears. You're not just buying a penny, you're acquiring a story, a piece of American history, and a guaranteed conversation starter in any room where wealth and sophistication meet. Can you imagine telling someone, casually, "Oh, this? Just a coin worth over $300,000. Pause for effect. The reaction alone is priceless, and here's where the urgency hits. Every day that coin sits forgotten in someone's collection, someone else, perhaps across the country, is actively hunting for it, ready to pay whatever it takes. The window of opportunity is closing, and it doesn't knock twice. If you've ever dreamed of being part of an elite club where rare coins define status, influence, and legacy, this is your moment. And let's be honest, if you found one of these coins in your change today, would you even recognize it? Or would it slip past your fingertips, destined to enrich someone else? Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny, how can it be worth hundreds of thousands? And you're right, it sounds crazy. But that's exactly the point. It's the unexpected treasure hidden in plain sight. Kind of like finding a $100 bill in the couch cushions, except in this case, that $100 bill could buy you a luxury car, a vacation home, or even fund your next investment. So, quick question, how many pennies are in your house right now? And how many of them could secretly be life-changing? The truth is, the 1956 D-Wheat penny error isn't just rare, it's a symbol of foresight and vision. It reminds us that wealth is often hidden in the details, waiting for those who are prepared to notice, act, and invest wisely. Collectors and investors pay top dollar not just for copper and date, but for the story, the rarity, and the certainty that comes with owning something exclusive. In today's market, this coin commands $343,000, and demand is climbing. Every auction, every sale reinforces a simple rule: scarcity equals value, and early action equals fortune. So, what does this mean for you? It means that opportunities to discover or acquire coins like the 1956 D-Wheat penny are fleeting. It's a rare intersection of history, craftsmanship, and financial potential, a trifecta that only comes around once in a generation. The coin is not just an object, it's a ticket to a lifestyle that few ever experience, a lifestyle of wealth, respect, and influence. And here's the final thought to leave with: while others dismiss pennies as mere pocket change, the wise collector sees them for what they truly are, keys to extraordinary opportunity. The 1956 D-Wheat penny error is more than a coin, it's proof that fortune favors those who look closer, think smarter, and act decisively. So the question isn't whether you should care about a penny. The question is, how long will you let the fortune of a lifetime pass through your fingers before you see it for what it really is? Imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, a small, seemingly ordinary coin, yet it holds the power to change fortunes overnight. Today, we're diving into one of the most sought-after numismatic treasures in the United States, the 1958 D-Mint Mark Wheat penny error. If you think all pennies are worth just a cent, think again. Some of these coins are now valued at a staggering $342,000. Yes, you heard that right, over $300,000 for a tiny piece of copper and history. But here's the twist: most collectors will never even know this coin exists, hidden in plain sight in rolls of change, dusty drawers, and forgotten collections. Are you ready to discover why this penny could be the golden ticket sitting quietly in your home? The story begins in 1958 at the Denver Mint. The U.S. Mint was churning out millions of pennies for everyday transactions, completely unaware that a small error would create one of the rarest coins in history. A mint mark misplacement, a subtle die error, or even an anomaly in the striking process, these tiny imperfections turned ordinary pennies into treasures worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Think about that for a moment: what you once overlooked in your pocket change could be your key to instant wealth. But here's a question to reset your thinking: how many times have you tossed a penny, only to realize it might have been your most valuable possession? Funny how life works, isn't it? One second it's nothing, the next, it's priceless. Let's explore why the 1958 D-Wheat penny error is so extraordinary. The D-Mint mark, representing the Denver Mint, was involved in a production anomaly that created variations now hunted by collectors worldwide. Imagine the thrill of discovering one, your heart racing, hands trembling, knowing that you're holding a coin that most will only see in photos, in auction catalogs, or on rare occasions, in elite collections. The emotional pull is undeniable. It's not just the monetary value, it's the story behind it. Each scratch, each minting flaw, each tiny detail tells a narrative spanning decades. And here's the catch: the window to own one is closing. These coins are no longer quietly sitting in circulation. They are being snatched up by discerning collectors who understand that scarcity drives exponential demand. Let's pause for a moment. Imagine you're sipping your morning coffee, and you glance at a small copper coin on the counter. Could it be a 1958 D? The thought alone sends shivers of excitement and possibility. Every second you wait, someone else might be uncovering the very coin you dream of finding. That fear of missing out, the FOMO, is real, and it's driving prices higher every day. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny, right? I shouldn't get too excited. But let's be honest, if a penny could buy you a small house today, would you think twice? I didn't think so. And that's the magic of rare coin collecting. It challenges our perception of value, forcing us to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. Here's the ultimate takeaway: the 1958 D-Wheat penny error isn't just a coin, it's a gateway. A gateway to wealth, to history, and to a legacy that could be passed down for generations. Collectors who understand its rarity and significance are willing to pay top dollar, creating a market that's as competitive as it is rewarding. The current market value? An astounding $342,000, and that number continues to climb as fewer coins remain available. The urgency is real, and the opportunity is fleeting. So, what does this mean for you? If you have an old coin collection, a forgotten jar of pennies, or even a single 1958 D hiding somewhere in your home, now is the time to look closer. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Every moment you delay could mean someone else seizes what could have been your most valuable asset. And when you finally hold that coin, know that you're not just holding metal, you're holding history, opportunity, and potential that could transform your life. In the world of rare coins, knowledge is power, and timing is everything. The 1958 D-Wheat penny era represents more than money, it embodies legacy, excitement, and the thrill of discovery. For those willing to explore, to search, and to act decisively, the rewards are extraordinary. So, take a second look at your coins, cherish the small things, and remember, sometimes, the most unassuming objects hide the most astonishing fortunes. Your golden opportunity might just be in the palm of your hand. Don't let it slip away.